SBA Publications.
Hello everyone, how are you all? This is your mentor Vedika. So, today we are going to start our second chapter, which is nouns. So, in the first chapter we studied about sentences, and now we are going to study about nouns, which we have been studying since our earlier classes also. So, as you all know, what is a noun? It is a name of a person, a place, a thing, a feeling or an idea. So, let's study about it in the chapter itself. So, firstly, a noun is the name of a thing, a place, a person, a quality or an idea. So, this is what I have already told you, that what is a noun, and you might already have learned the definition, or you might know the definition very well by now. So, let's delve deep into the topic by studying the types of the nouns. So, here are different types of nouns given. Let's read them one by one. First one is proper nouns. What is a proper noun? It names particular person, place or thing. So, it is a name of a person, place or a thing which is particular, which has a particular name, not a general one. So, for example, India, it is the name of a particular country, right? Pakistan, again a country. Asia, it is a continent. Haridwar is a city. Ganga is a river, and the Himalayas, it's the name of a mountain, right? Rakesh, name of a man. Suresh, again name of a person, etc. So all these are the examples of proper noun. Next up we have common nouns. It names all things or persons of one kind. So it names a general group of something, not a group but a kind of something, or a person or a place or some class. For example, boy. So boy is a common word for a kind of people, right? There are two kinds of people. So here we are talking about boy. Okay. Next, there is a cow, but it doesn't have a name. It can be any cow. So that's why it comes under the category of common nouns. Teacher, it could be any teacher. I am also a teacher, but it could be any other teacher, right? School, any school, it could be any school, right? It could be the school where I teach in, it could be the school where you study in, right? So it is not a particular but a general school. I hope the topic is clear. Next is collective nouns. So what is a collective noun? Which names a group or a collection of similar things, persons or places. तो जो किसी ग्रुप का पर्टिकुलर नेम होता है उसे हम कलेक्टिव नाउन कहते हैं. कोई भी चीज़ हम कलेक्टिवली जिसको कोई नाम देते हैं. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, अ लॉट ऑफ स्टूडेंट्स स्टडी इन व्हाट अ क्लास. तो एक स्टूडेंट्स के ग्रुप को हम क्लास कहते हैं. तो स्टूडेंट जो है वो यहाँ पर कॉमन नाउन हो जाएगा. बट आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट द ग्रुप, तो इट विल बी क्लास. तो ऐसे ही हमारे कलेक्टिव नाउन्स होते हैं. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, आर्मी, इट इज़ अ ग्रुप ऑफ सोल्जर्स. टीम, अ ग्रुप ऑफ प्लेयर्स. Audience or a bunch. So audience is a group of people who watch a game or a movie, who have come to watch. Okay, the watchers. And other is bunch. Bunch could be of any fruit, of anything, right? Bunch, keys. Keys का भी bunch होता है, right? So these are the example of collective nouns. Next one is material noun. What is a material noun? It names the non-living things, like material, substance और ingredient for making things. तो ये किसी नॉन लिविंग थिंग का नेम होता है. ओनली नॉन लिविंग थिंग्स का होता है जिनसे कि कोई चीज़ बनी होती है और कोई या फिर कोई इंग्रेडिएंट होता है, राइट? फॉर एग्जाम्पल, सपोज आई एम वेयरिंग अ ज्वेलरी एंड इट इज मेड ऑफ गोल्ड. सो द मटीरियल इज गोल्ड. गोल्ड विल बी द मटीरियल नाउन हियर. और मिल्क, it is an ingredient, right? It will be material noun. Sugar, salt, sand, paper, bread, oil, food, tea, etc. These are all the material nouns. I hope it is quite clear and it's not that tough for you to understand. Last one is abstract nouns. It names the quality, state or concept of a person, situation or things. So it is not a very much of physically present, but a quality or a feeling. Everything comes under this category of abstract noun. Abstract is what we cannot see, what we cannot touch, but we can absolutely sense it, right? For example, so here, yes, I was saying that it cannot be seen or touched, but only felt. We can only feel it, only sense it. So the examples are anger. You cannot see anger, but you can feel it, right? It is also a noun. And which noun? Abstract nouns. Happiness, sorrow, height, depth, intelligence, difficulty, etc. All these are abstract nouns because you cannot physically show them. Although you can see height, but you cannot count it under any other category but abstract nouns, right? Because it is more of a quality. So, abstract nouns can also be of two types now. It divides into further parts. The first one is attributive nouns. Let's see what are attributive nouns. Name of qualities, characteristics or attributes are called abstract nouns. कोई quality हो, कोई किसी का attribute हो, right? Characteristic हो, इन्हें हम attributive nouns कहते हैं. Such nouns can be formed from adjectives and nouns. अब ये nouns हमारे adjectives और nouns में से ही form होते हैं. For example, poverty. From the adjective of poor. So from the adjective poor, the noun is coming, which is poverty. Now poverty is a state of being poor. So it is also a noun. Next is knighthood. From the common noun knight. So what is a knight? We call a soldier, maybe we can say a soldier, a knight also. So knighthood is a feeling of being a knight, or what a knight follows is a knighthood. Next is scholarship. It is from the noun scholar, and so on. So here are so many attributive nouns that are formed from either nouns or adjectives, right? Next one is verbal nouns. So as you can understand from the names, nouns that are made from verbs are known as verbal nouns. वो nouns जो verb से बनेंगे उन्हें हम verbal nouns बोलेंगे. Such as examiner, this is from examine, right? Designer from design, and walking from walks, and so on. So these are the examples of verbal nouns. So I hope the topic is quite clear. Let's move on to next topic, that is countable and uncountable nouns. So what are countable and uncountable nouns? First, let's read about countable nouns. Nouns that can be counted are called countable nouns. जिन भी चीज़ों को हम count कर सकते हैं, जिन भी nouns को हम count कर सकते हैं, they are known as the countable nouns. For example, books. Books can be counted, right? Pens, pencils, persons, chairs, tables, and so on. So these things can be counted. That's why they come under the category of countable nouns. So countable nouns can be classified as follows. Now we are classifying countable nouns. How? As singular and plural. Example of singular are a pen, a man, a dog, a chair, and so on. So when the thing is singular, when it is only one, we can count one also, right? So it will be under the category of singular countable nouns. But again, we have plural countable nouns, so that definitely makes it more than one. Any noun that countable noun that is more than one is a plural one, right? Examples are 2 pens, 4 men, 10 dogs, 15 chairs, and so on. The indefinite articles a and a can be used with countable nouns. So with countable nouns, we can use our indefinite articles that are an and a. So these are the articles that you can use with countable nouns. For example, a dog is a faithful animal. So here we are talking about a dog, one dog. So here we are using a article with the sentence. So there are some points that you have to remember. First one is a singular countable noun can be used with the article a, an, and the. So we can use all the articles with singular countable nouns. Plural countable nouns are usually used without any articles. With plural countable nouns, you do not use any article because it is more than one in number, right? So a and the are used with singular countable nouns only. With plural countable nouns, you will not use any articles. Words such as many, a few and few are used to quantify the countable nouns. So for countable nouns, to know their quantity, you use words such as many, a few and etc. So now let's move on to uncountable nouns. Uncountable nouns are those that denote materials, substances, ideas or concepts, feelings and emotions. So these cannot be counted. You cannot count materials. You cannot count substances from which something is made of, right? You cannot count any idea or a concept, a feeling or an emotion. All these things cannot be counted, right? So such nouns are called uncountable nouns. For example, we cannot count milk. Can you count milk? No, you cannot, right? Sugar, we cannot count sugar. We are not here to count it crystal by crystal, right? Water, it is uncountable, right? Bread is uncountable. Cheese is uncountable. Gas, fuel, electricity, these things are also uncountable. Money, wealth. Well, yes, you count your money, but you still consider it under the category of uncountable nouns. Furniture, luggage, cannot be counted. News, burden, load, information, responsibilities. You cannot count all these things. You cannot count emotions like love, hatred, tolerance, sadness, travel or knowledge. All these nouns are taken as singular and therefore take a singular verb. So these nouns are considered singular only because they come under the category of uncountable nouns, and if the thing cannot be counted, we cannot put it under the category of plural nouns, right? So they come under the category of singular nouns. So a singular verb is used with them. For example, the news disappoints me. So news can be more than one also, but it disappoints me. So disappoints is a verb that we use with singular words, and uncountable nouns will use singular verbs only. Tolerance leads to brotherhood. Again, the same thing. I don't think I have to explain it in details one more. So now again there are some points that you have to remember. First one is indefinite articles a, and are not used with uncountable nouns. So here in uncountable nouns we do not use articles such as a and an. We do not usually use a and with uncountable nouns. Therefore we cannot say a milk or an information. In such cases we say a piece of information, a slice of cheese, a grain of rice and a loaf of bread, and so on. So we cannot use articles with uncountable nouns, we use another word, another noun to use articles with them. For example, हम ये नहीं बोलेंगे एक bread, a bread, we will say a slice of bread, right? A piece of information, okay? So these are some examples how we use articles with uncountable nouns. However, words such as some and any can be used with uncountable nouns. Although words like a or an cannot be used with uncountable nouns, we can definitely use words like some or any. For example, do you have any news from your friends? So here in this example, you can see that we are using any with an uncountable noun. Words such as much and little can be used with uncountable nouns. So words like much and little can also be used with uncountable nouns. For example, I don't have much faith in astrology. Now again, with an uncountable noun, we are using a quantifier, right? So let's move forward and read about nouns, gender. Nouns can also be classified as following: on the basis of gender of person, animal or thing. So now we can classify nouns on the basis of gender also. हम gender के base पे भी nouns को classify कर सकते हैं. And here we are given 4 types of genders to classify our nouns. First one is masculine gender. So here it names the male nouns. It names the male nouns only, masculine nouns only. of person or animals. Okay, for example, boy, man, lion, actor, etc. These are all the male nouns or masculine nouns. Alright. Next up we have feminine gender. It names all the female nouns, names of persons or animals. For example, girl, woman, lioness, actress, etc. Now we have given another noun which is a common gender. Now what is a common gender? It names the nouns that are common for both the male and female. अब जो मेल और फीमेल दोनों के लिए कॉमन होता है उसे हम कॉमन नाउन कहते हैं. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, पर्सन. आई एम अ गर्ल, आई एम ऑल्सो अ पर्सन. इफ यू आर अ बॉय, you will be also a person. So person is a common noun. It is an example of common noun. Okay. For example, person. It is the best example of a common gender. Now we have neuter gender. What is a neuter gender? It names the nouns that are neither male nor female. वो nouns जो ना ही male हैं और ना ही female हैं, they are known as the neuter gender. Mostly it consists of things, non-living things. For example, pen, book, tree, bird, school, park, etc. So so these are the examples. Pen, book, tree, bird, school, park. All these are either non-living things or places. So you cannot give a place a gender. So here we give them a fourth gender, that is neuter gender. Now, noun cases. So we are going to read about nouns case. Case is that property of a noun or a pronoun that gives information about the role it plays in a sentence. So how it plays a role in a sentence? Let's see. There are 4 types of cases. Now we are reading about cases of nouns. So let's see how many types of cases are there. There are 4 types of cases. Subjective cases. What is a subjective case? When a noun or a pronoun occupies the position of the subject in a sentence. जब noun या pronoun subject की position पे होता है, then it is called to be in subjective case. Okay, or the nominative case. You may ask the question what or who to get the nominative case. For example, Amit bought the chocolate for Sakshi. So Amit is a subject and a noun as well. So it is the nominative case. Next is accusative or objective case. So what is this now? When a noun plays the role of direct object in a sentence. जब direct object का place noun लेता है, it is said to be in the objective case. For example, Amit bought chocolate for Sakshi. Again, same sentence. Here, object is also a noun. So chocolate is objective case or accusative case. Next is dative case. What is a dative case? When a noun or pronoun plays the role of an indirect object. What is an indirect object? When the main object, what the main object is doing to the other object is called the indirect object. So when noun plays the role of an indirect object, it is said to be in dative case. The noun that answers the question to whom. वो noun जो किस question का answer करता है? To whom. किसके लिए? For whom. Right? It is in the dative case. For example, Amit bought the chocolate for Sakshi. Again, same sentence, but in the first sentence we talked about our subject, that is Amit, our main object, direct object, that is chocolate. Now for whom he brought chocolate? It is Sakshi. So Sakshi will be the indirect object here, right? Last one is genitive or possessive case. So it is when a noun or a pronoun shows possession. जब possession दिखाता है, ownership दिखाता है noun, it is said to be in the possessive case. The noun that answers the question whose, किसका, in a sentence is in the possessive case. The noun which answers this question, whose, is in the possessive case. How? Amit's pen is with me. Now Amit's pen, the possessive case will be the entire thing. Amit's ownership on the pen, it is the possessive case. Now you have to remember the genitive case is marked by an apostrophe. You know, you have seen this comma with Amit. So this is an apostrophe. So you can mark a possessive case by noticing the apostrophe given in the sentence. Only living things or personified objects can be in the genitive case. तो in genitive case में living thing या फिर कोई personified object ही exist कर सकता है, not anything else. So that's it for the chapter. I hope the topic is quite clear to you and there is no doubt left. If there is any doubt, just go through the video once again and you will be done for the chapter. So now we are given this exercise which I hope you will be able to perform very well on the basis of the explanation I just gave you. So you have to do it by yourself. So till then, keep learning. Bye-bye.